Hi everybody, it's Armor King here today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Armor King and what buffs do I think he should have. Now, as of currently, I want to talk about a few moves. I want to talk about his forward 2-1, his back 1-2, his down back 2-3, and possibly more openings for his shadow step out of either maybe down back 1+2, or while running 3, or maybe if you want to make forward 3 a homing mid move that is a little bit more plus on block. I'm also going to talk about his dark upper. However, I digress. Let's get into this. We're going to start with his blue spark dark upper. Now, this is a thing that I had given him in the boss mod. However, there's one big thing that I've noticed. It's -12. But I did give it 30 damage to make it fair. Now, originally, it's 20 damage coming out of the counter hit while standing 2. I've noticed that. It's 20 damage flat. But it's 36 damage on counter hit. Which isn't bad. I mean, a little bit busted, kind of, but this is where we're going to get into this. I want this to be a move given to us for rewarding those who have high execution, and it being -13, granting us a -13 launcher. So if we do down back 2-3 against ourselves, we're able to launch punish it. Not easily, but we can. Now, granted, this might be a little bit much, but you have characters like Kazuya already who exist with a -13 launcher. Well, yeah, with a 13 frame launcher, excuse me. I'm just saying that if you want to combine the full aspect of Mishima and King, I think that would grant it perfectly. Let's move on. Now, this move can be very good because it flips over normally on normal hit like that. Sure, it grants us a bunch of damage, but it forces us to use... It forces us 108 damage, full combo, but it forces us to use up forward 3 and not crouch dash 1. Because if we use crouch dash 1, we're probably going to force ourselves to do a burning knuckle combo, which is, as you can tell, inconsistent. So, many might argue that that's not a good enough reward, but I think it's perfect because if you're going to give us a 13 frame launcher, it better be at least well balanced. Look at that. I could even still wall splat with that given the current circumstances. But if you up forward 3, it switches us back to normal. So is it all that bad to have this locked to... Is it all that bad to have this locked to just a certain way to juggle? I don't think so. And in fact, I think you can get better characters, like better combos on male characters. See, look, and you're still gonna miss on female characters anyway. So this being a 13 frame Punisher, even on like female characters, is still kind of justifiably alright. You just have to force yourself to go with, you know, just a less damaging combo. And even so, it doesn't even look that less of a damaging combo anyway, correct? Because its launcher is, you know, it's 30 damage, but it could even give us this amazing combo against the wall because it's a mid. Maybe if you guys want to take the mid aspect out of it, but I say leave it as a mid because it'd be worth it for us AK players to be able to just rush in and be able to do wave dashes and everything, and we'll still get punished horribly. In fact, I think we need this as a mid because our current mid, crouch dash 4, isn't that great. It grants us this, the guaranteed stops, or forward 4 if you're fast enough. Heck, because this is a new move, that you'd be giving to us, you could also grant us that. I'm just saying this move is going to be used throughout on the rest of Armor King's lifespan if you gave this to him, because it not only is a good move, but it does the same amount damage roughly as forward 4 as his wall bounce. Though, in conclusion, I'm just asking nicely, for the sake of Armor King players, and not just me, please give us something like this. A just frame move that's mid and it launches. And out of wave dash, out of wave dash. Because then we have... I see a lot of Armor King players giving up on their character because he doesn't have a move like this. They would go back to either Kazuya or King, because King has better moves in neutral. In fact, you should make this move right here -14 as well. It's only a counter hit launcher, for goodness sake. Sure, we can get it out of wave dash, but it's a counter hit launcher. -14 wouldn't be that bad, but maybe you guys are right in giving it a launch punish. But I still think that maybe it, instead of being launch punishable or whatever, on every character, make it launch punishable on certain characters like Kazuya. If Kazuya blocks it, does while standing 1-2. Cool, Moving on, I'm gonna go into now his down back 2-3 mix-up. And it's only a mix-up right now because it's down back 2-4, which is high, and down back 2-3. Boom. Look at that. Down back 2-3 now gives the Sun out of up back 1, giving him a little bit more of an identity to be able to, if he hits you with something, you best hope that he doesn't hit you with the highest damaging thing. And you best hope that, he's a mix-up heavy character, I think. And I think he deserves things that, require a lot of execution to be able to pull off a lot of damage. But I also think he needs just a bigger mix-up game. The down back 2-4, it's -9 on block. It's -9 on block. So standing guard, down back 2-4. 2-4. She's gonna duck it. Down back 2-4. And she's gonna get hit by that, except it's gonna be that different hit stun, which is gonna be down back 2-4, down back 2-3, and then you're gonna get that as a guaranteed hit. You're either gonna get that, or you're gonna get 4-4-4, or if you don't trust the online lag, you can get 2 less damage, which is just shoulder. Which isn't terrible. Which it's really good, correct? I think it's very good. Now, I think that's just one of the things he needs to be able to potentially give his mix-up game just a little bit more life. And it's -13. It's -13 on block now. So I think that if Namco is going to give him something like this, it's still at least launch punishable. And if you guys don't agree with this, then make him -14 or something like that on block. -14 on block, but now he's -13 and he has less pushback. So him being -13 with less pushback is great, because then this would feel like the reward is far better. Because look at that, 32. Now it's 56. And you're -9 anyway with down back 2-4. So I'm just saying, if you want to bait your opponent into be able to duck, that's how you do it. See, like, even if I just do a down back 2-4 and you expect the person to like duck again, you do down back 2 and then they duck. You do okay, look, this is what I'm trying to do here. You do down back 2, and then they duck, and then you can go for something like the Blue Spark Dark Upper to mix them up again. And you get a launcher out of it. It could be very good, I'm saying. I'm saying that'd be great. If you guys think that's too broke, I can understand. If you guys think that's too broken, I understand fully. But I still think that if you want to give us something for more of the risk-reward, well, there isn't no reward, there's only risk currently. However, Now there is reward with this, which is normally 32 damage, but it's 54 on normal hit, but it's only a counter hit string anyway. So even if you do get hit by that first hit, you're still going to be able to just guard all anyway. And you're still minus 13. It'd make the reward just that bit much better. And if you get them to duck and you get that hit reaction, boom. See, in fact, I think that'd only be 44 damage for us anyway. It does, like, how much less damage? It does how much less damage compares? It does 1 less damage than up back 1, which is like the weakest variation. As a combo, down back 2-3, we get 56. So maybe that is plenty fair, in my opinion. And also, back 1-2. This is what we're going to get into next. His 12-frame punish, back 1-2, now does this. Rather much so than give us a grab mix-up. Leave our grab mix-ups to something like out of Wave Dash. That way, if they don't see any grabs coming or anything like that, maybe they will see grabs coming. But back 1-2, leave our grab mix-ups to 2-1, since it's now +7 on hit. You wanted to buff us, there we go. Or counter hit down 1. Not down 1, down 3. Counter hit down 3 can now leave us with grab mix-ups too, forcing them to crouch. So once you do this, and then they start crouching, you can go for the Blue Spark Dark Upper, because they're gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta crouch because he's gonna fucking go grab me. He's gonna try to grab me. I don't want no tombstone. And then they're gonna eat a launch, because they're gonna be like, oh shucks. Oh shucks, I don't want that. I don't want to get hit by that. Boom. Oh, look at that. Boom. Then they get launched. Easy peasy. But I still think that this, if you're not gonna give us this and everything, hold on, boom, on, since it's like that on counter hit, if you're not gonna give us that and everything, because look at that, it does like 42. It does 39. But if you're not gonna give us that on normal hit, then at least make this like hit confirmable or something. Back 1, 2. Back 1, back 1, back 1, 2. Boom! 51. And on regular hit, back 1, 2, boom. I'm just saying, if you want us to have something just a little bit better, maybe back 1, 2 being able to do that hit stun is better. But on certain characters, of course, like I said earlier, it can launch. But that's depending on your execution and what you're able to do. See, even this would take execution. Instead, you could just, look at that. Because she crouched once, it can give that normal hit stun too. See, let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick. Boom, boom. And then you can go for a grab mix-up again. Or if they crouched, you know, if they crouched the first hit, and you committed, and it's a counter hit, there you go. Perfect. But if you boom, boom, as just your regular 12-frame punish, you're able to get a free 4-4-4 for a free shoulder. Because that's exactly what you want as an Armor King player. You want to be able to get guaranteed damage. Because we don't have enough of anything that would give us guaranteed damage. Now, if you guys, okay, I can understand if you guys think that's too much, and this is just my opinion. If you guys just leave what you guys think would be good changes in the comments, and I can probably agree with those. Now, down forward 1 we have to talk about a little bit. Down forward 1, it's interruptible. We can't pressure with this. We don't have anything. Look at that. Not even down 1 reaches. So look at that. Duh. That reaches, but that's too slow. Down forward. So down forward 1, instant while standing 2 is actually what we opt to go for now these days. Which is pretty good. I think it's pretty alright. But I think the tracking needs to be slightly improved. And why I say this is because we can't necessarily apply the pressure that we want. That or you should just make this move faster. Come out just a little faster. Make down forward 1 come out in like, instead of 13 frames, come out in like freaking... In fact, I can even punish down back 2-3 with down forward 1. 13 frames. If it comes out in 13 frames, I could interrupt. If I was given this, I could interrupt with this and get a counter hit launcher off of that, because that's how bad that is. That's pretty bad. Am I satisfied with the changes that we have? Yeah, and not really at the same time. I think as well, this should give the same stun as this. That way it gives us a little bit more reward to use it, and it makes people even more scared that it's a high unblockable. You get people to duck, you dance around their ass a little more, down 1-4. Mix them up with a grab. They start ducking, down forward 1, or you could just do them. Yep, see, look at that. If they try to duck, and you go for a grab, down forward 1. See, it could be used for many things. It could be used to mix up your opponent and make your opponent respect what you're doing. I'm just saying, give it more reward than what we actually have. Because this, it wall breaks, sure, but we need a better reaction. We need it to do that counter hit stun on regular hits, since it's a high unblockable. It's high, it can be ducked. Maybe in some ways it could be like Marn's leg, but Armor King's Marn's leg. See what I mean? It could be pretty good, and it doesn't even... It takes a lot of time to come out anyway. Still very unimpressed with these changes that Armor King got in this season. But that's just... I don't know. Everything is for a reason, right, guys? And I'd like to propose another change for forward 2-1. It being now closer on hit can grant us a guaranteed down 3+4. As you can see right there, because it was on wake up backwards, it's now closer on hit, and it gives us a free down 3+4. It gives us, free hits. The opponent now can't do anything to get up after forward 2-1. And I think that would absolutely be great for Armor King's game, because then well, forward 2-1 is good, but it's also one of our main whip punishers. And if they try to get up kick with a hard read, you can get a free knockdown or a free, wall splat. So like, let's do this near the wall. I'm gonna have this chick follow me. Forward 2-1. Free wall splat. Free wall splat, or it could also be another wall splat too. In fact, that could wall break. Forward 2-1. And look at that. Even the last hit could whip. So, forward 2-1, yes, I think it should be closer on hit while standing. You can get a free down 3+4. You can go for and opt for like the high or anything like that if you got a hard read. You can even do it on the recovery kick. Spring attack. Look, I only have to dash a little bit to hit that. It's not even possible with our current forward 2-1. Look at that, there's still even a chance that they can block it too. So it'd be something that, you'd have to make sure, oh crap, I hit it, I have to dash in immediately. It's balanced still. Just like King's back in Season 1. forward 2-1. Okay, I gotta rush in and do that down 3+4. And you could get whiff punished possibly for that, if you're not even careful. So I'm just saying this should be the opted change for Armor King's forward 2-1 well grounded. Because then, look at that, I'm not even getting it consistently anymore. Because that's not his current forward 2-1, this is a modded forward 2-1. Some people want it close enough to be able to do that 3+4, to be able to do a wild 3+4, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you could actually get that too with stand up. You can, but not on wake up backwards. So you have to dash really fast to get it, and it's worth the risk. I think it's worth it to be able to make that forward 2-1 closer on hit. Now, let's test this at the wall, because apparently... No, I don't end up behind Shouty. See that? I do not end up behind her. Now let's try it against the wall break. Apparently that can happen, right? No. Look at that. I'm not even behind her. Everything that I changed, or well, I didn't really change myself. Thank you, Wolf, for making these changes. But anyway, these are the changes that I have in mind. Forward 2-1, closer on hit, free down 3+4, granting us 41 damage rather than the ladder of 32. And his Rage Drive. We need a new Rage Drive. And why don't you think and you might think I'm crazy, but this is the Rage Drive that I have in mind. This. Abounding ISW. 153 damage, and that's with Rage on. So imagine doing this, right? So let me do this. Look at that, I could even miss that. But this is the Rage Drive I have in mind. Suddenly a counter hit into ISW, which now bounds. And look, I ended the combo at a solid 123. This would be great for Armor King players, because this, already, we use this in combos consistently. It bounds, down back 2-3, down back 2-4, down 2-4-3, while standing for 133 damage. This would be great for comeback potential, and it would give us more reason to use our Rage, because we don't use it. Forward 2-1, dash 2. The tool set that I've given Armor King is already a little bit better than what we have in comparison. And also, we now have a high wall splat tool. So take that with what you will, Namco, but I think these are the greatest ideas that we could have for this character. I mean, you don't have to take the back 1-2 into consideration, because maybe, even I think that's a little bit much, because it probably doesn't give us that much for... It doesn't give us that much, it gives us 51 damage, rather than the ladder of the normal crouching guard with crouch back 1-2. But, in fact, let's have this person backdash after back 1-2. Yeah, no. Back. So let's do back 1-2 again. We're only going to be given Giant Swing as our... We're only going to be given Giant Swing as our saving grace. Because Giant Swing is predictable, maybe you should make it more plus and closer on hit if you think that's too much. But I still think this is good, and it's guaranteed damage. And at least we'll get 49 or 444. And because now I made 443 a mid, it could be 45 damage. But if you don't think that these are alright changes, I don't blame you guys, but this is what I have in mind. And I also think you should be given a low out of neutral, or something that's like, you know, like a hell sweep kind of, but not like really. Like give us Armor King's new low out of neutral rather than it limiting to Shadow Step, or give us some things that transition into Shadow Step more, like being able to hit, or being able to hit down back 1+2 and then transition into Shadow Step into an instant while standing 4 combo, because that's the potential I've seen it have before. See that? That could all be possible. Or maybe it couldn't be, but it'd have to be an instant, you know, transition. Not with the bound that I have right now that's on it, because that's part of the boss line. But currently, guys, those are my ideas for how we could buff Armor King. If you guys think my ideas are whack, I don't blame you. But I think that these are pretty sufficient ideas, and I think this would help Armor King shine just a little bit more in the eyes of the FGC, because then you'd have more stuff to work with. And on infinite stages, I think Armor King would be a force to reckon with then. Not that he isn't already a force to be reckoned with. I mean, look at how much damage I could get just because he went up against the wall. I'm just saying, if he had that kind of stuff with the Rage Drive now, that is the ISW bound, he could get even more wall carry, yada yada. Stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I really hope and appreciate that you guys, you know, look at these ideas and maybe just think we could probably talk to Namco about this. Because, you know, we shouldn't ask him for shit, but even this isn't that good. We have to be able to be point blank, and we don't have enough moves to be able to Magic 4. However, if we Magic 4, then dash and do the Blue Spark. That's a bad example, but look at that. See? If you give us the Blue Spark Dark Upper, we can be able to dash out of starting point Magic 4. And even then, it's still hard to get. Look at that. If you make Magic 4 just closer, just slightly, I won't complain. I hope you take some of these changes that I have in mind to heart and think about it. Harada, Michael Murray, I love you guys very much, and I appreciate what you guys do for Tekken. Thank you so much for giving us this game, and thank you so much for letting this game continue to live. Thank you also for bringing Akuma into Tekken. Why do I thank you? Because I don't know if we're ever going to see Tekken X Street Fighter, and that's probably the closest thing that we're going to get. Anyway, sorry for rambling, but thank you guys so much again for watching this video, and I hope to talk to you all again very soon. Sorry if this seems a bit sloppy, but I don't like writing scripts. Later.